1885. In the middle of the North Atlantic, a French warship named the Isère is screaming. Not from its crew, but from its cargo. Imagine 350 massive wooden crates stacked high in a dark, flooding hold. Inside, the copper skin of a giant. Outside, 60-foot waves are slamming into the hull, threatening to send 300,000 pounds of French art straight to the bottom of the ocean. If these ropes snap, America's greatest symbol dies at sea. This is the story of the near destruction of the Statue of Liberty. But to understand why she was almost lost, we have to go back to a Paris workshop where a man named Bartholdi was building a dream that France couldn't afford and America didn't even want.
The Isère survived the Atlantic. She limped into New York Harbor expecting a hero's welcome. Instead, she found silence. The crates were unloaded onto Bedloe's Island, and then they just sat there. Congress had refused to pay for the pedestal. The governor of New York had vetoed the funding. The wealthy elites of Manhattan looked at the gift from France and called it useless. For months, the face of liberty lay face down in the mud, rotting in the salt air. The project was dead, and the statue was destined for the scrap heap. Enter Joseph Pulitzer, a penniless immigrant turned newspaper king. He used his front page to shame the nation. He didn't ask the millionaires for help, he asked the people. Single pennies, dimes from factory workers, nickels from school children. Over 120,000 people gave what they could, and in 5 months, the people of America saved the Queen of Exile. With the money secured, the real nightmare began. How do you build a 300-foot copper statue on a tiny wind-swept island and keep the Atlantic gales from blowing it over like a sail? Enter Gustave Eiffel. Before he built his tower, he built Liberty's skeleton. He didn't build a rigid frame. He built a flexible one, a massive central pylon of iron connected to the copper skin by thousands of small, flexible metal straps. It was a living bridge wrapped in art. This allowed the statue to breathe, to sway. In a massive storm, the Statue of Liberty actually moves, shifting up to 5 inches in the wind. If Eiffel had built her solid, the copper would have snapped like glass a century ago. It wasn't just a statue, it was a miracle of Victorian physics. But survival wasn't just about the wind. Liberty has survived the worst of humanity too. In 1916, German saboteurs detonated a massive cache of explosives just stone's throw away. Shrapnel tore through her copper skin. To this day, the torch remains closed, a permanent scar from a war that almost claimed her. She stood through the Great Depression. She watched the towers fall on 9/11. And in 2012, she stood defiant as Hurricane Sandy sent the Atlantic surging over her pedestal. The island drowned, but the torch stayed dry. She is more than copper and iron. She is a reminder that freedom is fragile, that it must be funded by the poor, built by the brilliant, and defended by every generation. She is the mother of exiles, and she is still standing. History isn't just a list of names and dates. It's the story of how close we came to losing everything and the grit it took to save it. If you want to see more stories of the monuments that define our world and the near disasters that almost erased them, hit that subscribe button. Join us at Monuments of Grit as we uncover the past, one miracle at a time. Next time, we're heading to Paris, to a tower that was supposed to be torn down, and the man who fought to keep it standing. Thanks for watching.